Friends, all my life I have been a kind of a productivity freak. Yes, you may call me that because I have been consistently obsessed about the fact that how do I make the most of my time. In fact, the mantra is simple. Try to make more out of less. What I mean by that is achieve more, get more out of your time and become more productive while putting in less and less or consuming less and less of your time. But let me tell you this, I have failed. Till I made this shift in my thought process, I failed. And this one shift gave me more success than all my other tools put together. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about that one shift. Hey folks, welcome to CSKSpeaks. I am CSK and I am an educator. You're watching me on this channel CSKSpeaks, and in this channel we talk to leaders. We talk to you and you talk to us. So this is a channel for leaders. One of the important aspects which leaders worry about is productivity. And when I say productivity, it's at two different levels. One, at their institution or organizational level. You are an entrepreneur, you are a CEO, or you are a manager. You want to make your teams more productive. And two, you also want to become productive at an individual level, personal level. And this is very important because how we live our day creates our week, month, quarter, and even the year. It's as simple as that. Now, taking a cue from that thought process, I began researching into productivity tools. As I said at the beginning, I'm one of those productivity freaks who kind of was obsessed with how can I hack into these productive techniques. And I tried, trust me when I say this, I tried a host of things, a bunch of things which I can get my hands on and then try to put it in my day. Maybe the to-do lists, prioritizing these to-do lists, and trying to do a lot of things. But let me tell you what, I was successful, but not consistently successful. It was like swimming. You are at it, and over a period of time, you stop or you kind of slow down, and then you don't stay there, you begin to drown, you begin to sink. That was the feeling which used to come to me because every single time I used to focus on achieving more of my given day, the task somehow or the list somehow used to get longer and longer. And more often than not, I used to end my day feeling disappointed, feeling, oh, there is still so much to do. And I always used to tell this to myself. My self-talk used to be 24 hours are just not enough. You need more time to do the kind of work what I plan to do, what I intend to do. And I went on. And I'm sure many people kind of relate with this particular scenario. In fact, in my coaching sessions with entrepreneurs and leaders and people who run businesses and teams, this is one common topic of conversation. Invariably, in every 3 sessions, we have at least 2 questions coming from the time management space, from the productivity space. So that's like every session you'll have 1 session or 2 in 3. Now the question here is, where is that coming from? That is coming from we loading a lot of tasks onto our given day. And the mind is like elastic. It plans in a very, very creative, aggressive way. When we want to accomplish tasks, when we sit down and make our to-do lists, we kind of want to achieve the whole world in 1 single day. And when we start going about completing the to-do list, that's when the reality hits us. That's when it hits us in our face where we say that this time is simply not enough. So here, I want to talk to you about that one shift in your thought process. The shift which can give you enormous amount of success. It has given me in my life, and I'm here to share that with you. Now, before we get into that shift, let's understand what are the common challenges of this particular feeling of being unproductive. The one thing is, it is not at a very surface or a superficial layer that we being unproductive is just restricted to our work life or professional life or our kind of business or career. It kind of has its own rub-off effect on every other thing, and that's the biggest challenge which we kind of toy with. We get distracted, and when we feel dissatisfied in one area of our lives, that dissatisfaction kind of spills over to other areas of our life, and on the whole we start feeling depressed, we start feeling low on energy, we start feeling that we are incapable or even worse, inadequate. I think that's the most important thing. And if you are kind of experiencing that in whatever intensity in your lives, listen carefully to this particular shift, because this is going to be or bring in that kind of paradigm change in your perspective that you don't have to continue to feel that way. You can change with this single shift, and success is just going to come to you more than you can even imagine and faster than you could have thought about. So what is the shift I'm talking about? The shift is simple. I hope you're ready for that. The shift is asking the question, what is the most important thing to do now, and not asking, what do I feel like doing? Let me repeat that for you. Ask, what is the most important thing to do now, and don't ask or stop asking, what do I feel like doing now? Yeah, let that sink in a bit. 9 out of 10 times, each one of us asks the second question, and that is, what do I feel like doing? Yes, I have a to-do list. I have prepared it, I have planned it, I have scheduled it, but the minute I sit to do my work or I want to do my work, the thought is, what do I feel like doing? And I glance through my to-do list and I pick up those things somehow and then start doing that. Now, what are those somehow things which we pick up? They are the low-hanging fruits. Yeah. Your mind is quite magical and quite, they say, right? It's a trickster. Monkey mind. It knows how to relax. It knows how to find excuses. It knows how to escape. So what does it do? When you look at the to-do list, you look at those low-hanging fruits, which are maybe just a few minutes to completion, or which is something which gives you a feel-good factor, and then you just get on with it. And when you get on with that, you lose a sense of time and also progress. And by the time you realize you're done with that, you feel that the day is almost half over, or the most important thing to be done on that day is still left untouched. And that is where your dissatisfaction and depression begins. And then it's all kind of a ripple effect, where when you know that, okay, you did not spend time on the most important thing, your guilt takes over. And when your guilt takes over, you start getting or pulling down all those thoughts of, okay, I did not do this, I again failed again today, or this is yet another day where I am going to be unproductive and all that. Let's not go into psychology for a while. Stay with the productive list, the tasks. So when you do those low-hanging fruits or the tasks which are kind of feel good, you lose a sense of priority. And that is the basic problem. And that's what leaves you unproductive. So what is the best thing? Some people have this thought process that, well, isn't it good to have small wins to build up to the big wins? Well, that's good for beginners, but this channel is for leaders. This is for you. And as leader, you can't do amateurish stuff. You can't do smaller wins. You need a big win below your belt, isn't it? And for that, you need to ask this question, and that shift is what makes all the difference. And that's the question as what is the most important thing I should be doing now? And let me give you a simple tip. Let's make this easy. When you have your to-do list, the most unpleasant thing on the to-do list is the most important thing. At least 9 out of 10 times I have experienced in my life that the most unpleasant thing to do on your to-do list is your most important thing and do that thing first. You don't have to believe me. There's a great book written by one of the famous management experts by name Brian Tracy. Now this is the book I have here for you. Eat That Frog First, or Eat That Frog, but then I say Eat That Frog First. And he talks about 21 great ways to stop procrastinating and get more done in less time. For those of you who have already read this, you know what exactly I'm talking about. And for those of you who haven't read, tell me if you want me to make another video on this particular book, and I will come back and make a video exclusively on this so that you can take into your life all those techniques to beat procrastinating. So friends, coming back. So pick that unpleasant thing and just start doing. That simple shift of what is the most important thing I should do in my day is what is going to bring you progress and take you closer to your success. Now, second other thing which you need to know when you're trying to pick up this and prioritizing is, how do I go about it? Because when I take that big unpleasant thing or that most important thing, it cannot be accomplished in one shot. I might not have the enough energy, I might not have the excitement levels, and I might feel lonely and bored of doing it. Let me give you a tip here. Break that particular task into 20-minute modules or snippets or pieces. Yes, why 20 minutes? Because the research has shown that human brain, an adult brain, can concentrate for peak for 20 minutes. And after that, the attention span kind of falls. Now, people have enough arguments to say that attention spans are reducing, but no. When it comes to work, when it comes to getting onto a task, even drafting a nice email and sending that across will take you somewhere in the range of 10 to 12 minutes if you want to do a completely good job. So 18-20 minutes is a given. So try to break your most important task into 20-minute capsules and then accomplish one by one. And let me tell you one other secret. The minute you finish the most important thing for the day, suddenly all those feelings of inadequacy, incapacity, all of that vanish, and suddenly you have all these positive feelings gushing into your mind and heart, which is, wow, I am so good, I am so productive, I am efficient, and that again has a rub-off effect on the other things. Now the low-hanging fruits, you can just do it like a piece of cake. You can just do it as you're relaxing and as you're enjoying. So that's the whole thing. Peak productivity comes by prioritizing. And when you want to prioritize, the question you are going to ask is, what is the most important thing I need to do now, as against what do I feel like doing? I hope you are going to make that shift and start asking this question from today.